Ma'am, we're live now.
from
We can begin.
from Delhi. From Delhi. What time is your appointment, ma'am? 3 o'clock.
Ma'am, we can begin now.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank the Naretco leadership for giving me this opportunity to moderate this session. I would like to introduce Mr. Ashwin. Ashwin Kumar Iyer,
And
who
I'm
is
loving it.
Ashwin Kumar
Yeah,
Iyer, who is a leading force in India's senior living sector. He has shaped some of the country's most recognized retirement community brands like Serene, Vedanta, Elements. From launching Serene and scaling it into India's largest network to building Elements from the ground up as a tech-enabled, experience-driven brand in South India, his work has redefined elder care. Ashwin has a good digital following through his platform called Ashwin Speaks. He shares thought provoking content on aging, leadership, and cultural heritage. He is also a published author, cultural ambassador, and seasoned entrepreneur. Ashwin blends business acumen with empathy, championing dignified aging and intergenerational connection. I'm very happy to introduce Mr. Ashwin Kumar Iyer to everyone present online. This entire talk session would be more on Q&A and where Ashwin will be able to provide his 2 cents on the items that we ask. There's not going to be any presentation per se. So I just want to ask him that, until last, I think 7 to 8 years, there has not been so much chatter about senior living, but now the entire landscape of real estate is changing. We see that senior living, like almost 1 out of 5 project is senior living in the cities. So it seems to be emerging as one of the next big opportunity in Indian real estate. So what do you think is the factor that is driving this shift overall?
Thank you, Sukanya. Thanks a lot for that very glorious and generous introduction of mine. Um, yes, there's been a change. I would say not just in the last 6, 7 years. I would say in the last couple of decades. It's started very slowly, and we see rapid change now. And the reason for that particular change started in, I would say, 60s and 70s. In 60s and 70s, when the population grew up, and unfortunately very successfully we started breaking up joint families, and people started moving out of their hometowns into newer cities or newer countries for their profession. This particular opportunity for senior living grew, and this particular requirement came into being, and we realized it only a couple of years back when we realized that suddenly all the children are all abroad. Okay, you have money, and even though you have money, you don't have that sort of services and facilities that you want. For example, there is if there is a well, you take a case of a retired general manager of a nationalized bank. He should be getting a sumptuous money as the you know as his post-retirement income, either through pension or through investments and other things. If the spouses who are 70 plus and 80 plus, if both husband and wife are going to live alone in a metropolitan city, hardly anybody is going to know if there is a medical emergency to them. But there is an inherent cultural factor in India that we get to know all our neighbors, and we help them and other things, but that is also going down. You tell me, how well do you know your neighbor who is living? I'm not asking the person who is living right opposite to your house, but how well do you know the person who is living in the next floor, that is a floor which is under you? You tell me that.
100% we wouldn't know. Maybe hi bye when we meet them in the lift. That's all.
Absolutely, absolutely, and even the person who is right, even living right across the corridor of your house, in a few years that culture also will change. Today, but in retirement communities, what is happening is there is a ecosystem of care. it's not just the service providers who care and who provide all these facilities, but also everybody is conscious of what is required. And so, because of that, the entire requirement is raising. People are able to understand. Usually, I give a very cliched analogy about the requirement of senior living. I say this in almost all forums. About 2,300 years back, there was a very pampered prince in a place called Lumbini, Kapilavastu near Nepal, bordering India and Nepal. Okay, his name was Siddhartha. He was very pampered, so pampered that he never stepped out of the palace. One day he stepped out of the palace. And when he came back, he left the palace to become Buddha. So, what converted the pampered prince called Siddhartha into Buddha are only three things: ailment, old age, and death. These three certainties of life. And none of these three things can be ever avoided. But you can be prepared for it. Mentally prepared, financially prepared, practically, logistically prepared for all these three things. And one of it is called insurance. And insurance, in terms of housing, is called retirement community. So that's the concept for you now.
Okay. Now, retirement community, right? There's this confusion between retirement community, assisted living, and palliative care as well. So, how do we integrate this? Like, I know in the United States, there's an integrated system where people go through stages. But has that come down to India? Like, is it already there somewhere, or how is this working out overall when it comes to giving care and ensure like it is operational successfully?
Let me first start explaining by what are these things. See, once you retire, in India, we actively retire by about 60, 65 maximum. After that, at least at the middle class level, people do not want to work. And the major part of your retired age is what you call as independent living, where you're able to take care on your own. You don't need much of assistance to do your daily chores. You need assistance, like, you need a handyman whenever you need, and you need assistance for cooking because your wife is also as old as you. And even though she has been a housewife, she's not going to be as active as what she was earlier. So all you need is some assistance and help on cooking and small chores, like a handyman and security, safety, etc. And this is going to be a major chunk, some 20, 25 years of your age. That's called independent living. Then you move to a stage where you need assistance on consuming medicines, taking bath. You'd still be able to move around, and to help you in eating. Sometimes if you have arthritis in your fingers and you are alone, you become a single spouse, you become a single resident, and your children are all away, and your spouse is not, your husband or wife is no more. So at that point in time, you need somebody to help you around in your very basic course. So that stage is assisted living. From there, where you move is where you completely are bedridden. You either have very serious ailments, such as it could be a cardiac ailment, or it could be something like cancer or whatever, or even without any ailment, you're completely bedridden and you are paraplegic or anything, and you're not able to move out. So this stage is called palliative care. There are different centers. You need different types of capabilities to handle all these things. Beyond all these things, there are care centers which focus on one particular vertical care. See, for example, there are care centers which take care of only Alzheimer's and dementia. People who can handle Alzheimer's and dementia are very few in number, and it has to be very, very specific. It cannot be mixed with other care centers. So there are places like that also. But generally, between independent living, assisted living, and palliative care, no, it is a progression of age and ailment, and it is a natural progression. And a community which has capability to handle everything is called CCRCs, that is Continuous Care Retirement Community. That is what you will find in US. Most of them are continuous care retirement communities. But
Okay.
the culture in United States or any of those developed nations are very different. People move in retirement home only when actually they are not able to do chores on their own. That is slightly before assisted living. So that's
Okay.
why if you see in the United States, most of them are lease based or rental based. And when people move in, first what they see, they take the list of assisted living facilities available or hospices that are available, try to match with whatever is the social security money they are getting from the government, and then from there they try to match it and see what is suitable for them in terms of the weather. Because if you see US, Florida is considered to be the retirement capital of United States because of various reasons, and one main reason is the weather.
Okay.
As you age, cold weather is not too friendly to you. Okay, a little bit of sun is needed, and so Florida, for that matter, is very helpful. And per se, the state is also very helpful in development of retirement communities. I would say a massive amount of retirement communities in US are all based out of Florida.
Okay.
Now, similarly, in India also there is a phenomenon. I'll talk about the geographical phenomenon sometime later whenever you ask me. But
Mhm.
coming to this, we have CCRCs in India. For example, our Elements is a CCRC.
Okay.
All our elements facilities are CCRCs where people come in when they are independent, and they are taken care to the extent that even after when they are we have tie-ups with specific, for example, even if it is Alzheimer's or dementia and all, we have tie-up with specific centers which are qualified to handle them. We are not qualified to handle them. We are tie
Okay.
up with medical centers which are qualified to handle them, and we can handle within our facility. What we have done is we have taken these requirements, put into the logistics of housing, and entwine it. See, that is why from being a housing provider, from a real estate player, how you become a value-added service player
Can you just
is
provide more detail on this emerging partnership between healthcare provider, the brands, hospitality brands, and real estate players?
yeah. See, basically, even if in senior living also, the most tangible part of senior living is only the real estate.
Hmm.
Okay, whether it is going to be lease based or rental based or sale based, the tangible part where the maximum capital goes is the real estate.
Hmm.
And today, real estate is as a product in real estate housing in India has reached a stage like any other product. For example, you take the product of films. That is, I'm calling the film what you used to put in the camera
Hmm.
or pictures. From there, films have become pictures today. It becomes an experience. Okay, bicycles. You take the product cycle of bicycles from where it used to be a methodology for transport. Bicycle today are sold as experiences.
Hmm.
Real estate also has reached, I'm talking about housing, is also reached a stage where it breaks into two different extremes. One, either it becomes a commodity or it becomes an experience.
Okay.
Like theaters, movie theaters. Movie theaters are either a commodity or an experience. You don't go for anything except these two. Okay. So now, when it comes to experience, it becomes value added services in residential housing. So, what is value added services in residential housing? Either it has to be managed services such as senior living, or else they have to be branded residences.
Okay.
Okay. See, like the branded, the one extreme of it, the high end is the branded residence. Like how we are doing in Bharti Miraki, the Taj residences, and we've signed up with the other one in the ECR. So, and here in Dubai also, if you see, everywhere there is one Mercedes Benz, there is Bugatti, and there is Maserati residences everywhere on the Trump Towers.
Hmm.
That is one end of value added services. So you provide an experience. Similarly, this is a utility based experience. What is a utility based experience? You're giving an experience of senior living based on the requirement. there is a requirement for assistance in medical care. There is a requirement for assistance in household chores. There is an requirement for caring for them. So you create that ecosystem, you create that environment, and you give them senior living. So this is a natural progression. So for all real estate players, I would say when they go along the product cycle, they will have to end up in either of these two. And there is a gray area between these two. There are middle players who keep operating all their lives. Either you become a commodity because between X and Y, for example, if you in heart of Bangalore and heart of Chennai, there are two buildings which are coming next to it. Okay, what would be the differentiating factor? Either it is going to be the same, almost to the very similar input material. Either the brand is going to be different, or it is the design which is going to be different. Design, brand, design are the only differentiating elements. That differentiating elements are also becoming very thin now. Now, what you need to do is you need to add value to it by providing an experience. That is what best brands do. And one of the way is to get into senior living. But here, senior living is there is a issue in this for real estate. But generally, in the real estate mentality, people, the real estate players, would not want to stay inside the community for a very long time to provide services for the buyers, because there is always a bitter feel at the end of the deal whenever they buy the house for a small amount of time. So for that, what we need to do is now real estate players go and tie up with service providers, senior living service providers. We started doing this 15 years back. We tied up with one of the best in those days players such as in Chennai, Ramaniyam, and with Ozone in Bangalore, and with Adinath in Chennai, and with a couple of other players in Hyderabad. So we have demonstrated this tie-up between a real estate developer and a service provider can also work very well. We hold like it is a tie-up between the person who owns the building of a five-star hotel and the operator like a Sheraton or a Hilton. So it is a tie-up like that. And this is emerging, and this has been for 15 years. This has been successfully implemented, and there are plenty proofs of the pudding there around now.
So, is this the only financial model around senior living, or what else is there with respect to in real estate investment standpoint and ROI for developers and investors?
See, I would say there are two or three. First, one is simple. You sell and move away from the project. Let the service provider operate it. If you want to be the service provider, there are service real estate players who got into service and who are successfully doing it also. See, for example, one of the largest retirement players in Coimbatore, Nana Nani, is originally a real estate player, and they are still doing it. Ashiana, the largest real estate player in the country, their real estate, their otherwise real estate business is massive, and they themselves are service providers also. And you take in Chennai, Arun XLO, they are real estate, they develop and they do the services on their own. So there are few developers who also wanted to get into services. So if you want the easiest for them, which they are very used to, is getting into real estate as the sale model. Number two is the lease model. See, this is the only segment in residential real estate in India today. You know that residential real estate in India provides very less amount of rental return. Okay, it's hardly 2.5%. Even commercial gives you only 3.5% maximum. Okay, but residential real estate in senior living alone, especially when there are some more value-added services, when you position it between independent living and assisted living, in between independent living and assisted living with slightly more care and other things, the rental returns can be as high as 5%. So the lease model, I would say, if there is no issue of capital, the only roadblock for that in India has been the cost of capital. If you can find out a solution for cost of capital, especially for people who own lands for generations and do not want to sell it. I think the return would be the lease model, where they can hold the asset forever, and you can get as high as 5%, and it can go up over the period of 10 years, 15 years. If they are going to hold it for more than 10, 15 years, the returns would go even up to 8 to 9% if they are going to hold it for long. So that is a second model. Third model is pure play rental. Pure play rental will be slightly lesser, where you sell it to the end users and give rentals to it. So that is the third model. So these are the three models which are largely available for real estate players in India in senior living.
Okay. I just want to deviate a little bit in terms about the senior living project as a whole. So, what would really make it successful with respect to the location and design and amenities? Location. See, you already mentioned that Florida is a retirement capital in the United States. Now, in India. Okay, that's my second part of the question. Probably once you address this, I have another question to against the location, which I'll ask later on.
Yeah. So what was the question? Can you repeat again?
My question was like component of a successful senior living, like in terms of design, location, and amenities.
So there are at least 25 different factors.
We have
Okay.
another 40 minutes.
Yeah, but there are 25 different factors. But majorly it comes from the question is who's the operator.
Okay. Okay.
The operator has to be passionate. The operator has to be passionate, and it is not a business where it can be faceless. It cannot be fully technology driven, where no exposure to human face.
Okay.
Okay. So it is a passionate business, and I would say it starts from there. Number two is location. In about a decade back, there was a gold rush of all major brands in Bangalore and in South India. They rushed towards starting major developers starting. They all wanted to do retirement communities because there was this mandate of EWS buildings. Now it is
Okay.
gone. You can work around that today. Earlier, there was a mandate of 10% of your real estate has to be EWS.
Okay. So
Okay,
your
they
sites will be
they
smaller.
didn't they didn't know what to do with that. They thought they can sell it to senior citizens. That will not happen. Why am I saying this? There is no shortcut to it.
Mm-hmm.
Even senior citizens, they have you. They are not here to take the product what we throw away. They are here to command respect. They are here to command respect because they are ready to pay for it. We will have to design it from scratch. And I've seen every project suffer which has come out of Jugaad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no Jugaad project ever works, and we have to very carefully and passionately design the product. So as I said first, it should come out of experience. So who is going to operate? And people buy because if the operator is good. And for example, if there is if it is a known real estate brand, and they have still not developed any retirement community, then it might work for first project. And if they are not able to service it well, I think it will suffer again.
Mm-hmm.
So people have to understand the requirement of seniors. That is very important. Here we are not selling real estate; we are selling experience.
Okay. Now, with
And we have to be very true to that experience.
okay. With respect to, requirements, like other than, anti-skid tiles and grab bars, uh, and, nurse call buttons, what other things we can provide them? Because the moment we
See,
say senior living, they ask
things
for
have
these
gone,
three things.
things have gone to the next level today. Forget
Can you?
India. I was in a senior living, this thing in Singapore a couple of months back. It's a senior living conference. In Singapore, some of the hospitals use robots with AI as aid to people who have dementia and Alzheimer's. Okay, to talk to them, and these robots can handshake and give a feeling of there is a human being next to somebody who's got dementia. Okay, it has gone to that level today. Now, in India, there are plenty of, as far as the design is concerned, there are very basic things starting from the entire house has to be fully, matte finish, and the bathrooms have to be anti-skid, uh, um, and it should have grab rails. And in projects such as Elements, we also ensure that the entire house the wall corners are all chamfered due to illness. What we did earlier, we also made glow stickers on all the glow stickers on the uh, switches, so that when people wake up in the night and they are searching for switches, they not go and bang on the wall or anything. And footlights, basically automatic footlights. When you step out of the uh, when you step out of your cart, you place a footlight right under the cart, so that when they get out of the cart, they are able to see where they are walking. Small things. There are so many factors. From there, we've gone to the technology of it, whereby in all Elements projects, we do remote care systems. They have gadgets, not just gadgets. We place fault detectors in the house, in the bedrooms and halls. It automatically detects fall and informs the medical center and the next kith and kin. And not just that, for single residents, right above their beds, we place monitors. Not it is radio frequency based monitors. This is not camera. These radio frequency monitors take a pattern of your sleep and your breathing and other things. If there is a problem with breathing, if there is a problem in temperature, because it is also thermal, it also calculates your heat and everything in temperature and breathing. And if it detects a problem, it is AI enabled. It immediately sends a message to the medical center. So, to this extent, I'm telling you, starting from basically the tiles, to the extent to that an AI-based radio frequency monitor sends automatic message to the medical center if you're unwell. So this is the extent of gadgets we use, gadgets and innovations we use in care. Every house is smart home. The entry is through Elements. In Elements, I'm talking about the new Elements projects where the smart homes are enabled. The entry is only through electronic this thing, and there is all a camera. See, a camera phone is very old now. The technology is very old. But what we do is this is also operational from mobiles. Many a times what happens, not just for elders, even for us, we feel very lazy to get up from the bedroom, go to the hall and open the door. So now you can do it. You can see who it is on your mobile and open it right from your bedroom. And not just that, all the switches, the fans, lights, ACs, geysers can all be operated from your mobile. So this ensures that seniors don't need to get up on and off, and many a times they forget switching off, especially geysers. So
Okay.
we ensure that there is a lot of comfort for seniors in all their houses. There is a huge ambit of technology that is involved, and it is constantly getting innovated. There are pill boxes which can remind you of your pills at times. It will send you a message on your mobile, and your mobile will also give you. But we are not using it because it's not necessary. But even that is there. All our medical centers are enabled with teleconferencing with all the major hospitals in the country. So somebody wants to consult sitting in Chennai, somebody wants to consult with a hospital in Bangalore, or even with with a hospital in Chennai. For example, sitting in our community, they can consult to the doctor in Apollo. Okay. So because the nurse will aid them, the nurse is going to do the readings and tell the doctor what are the vitals and other things.
Okay. Now, initially, when we were talking about locations, right, you had mentioned that Florida is the retirement capital, etc. So
Yeah.
similarly, there's one logic that I don't really understand is like in India, like there are retirement communities that are coming up, but in a much colder place like Dehradun, even Pollachi, for in the down south Pollachi, etc. So what is the logic behind it? You mentioned like they don't like cold, but still there
See,
are
Dehradun, it has come up, but it is, I won't call it technically a very ideal location for general retirement community. But Coimbatore is. See, Coimbatore is not very cold. It is probably got the most pleasant weather in Tamil Nadu.
Mhm.
Not too cold and not too hot. You have not more than 45 days of summer there. Okay. And it is not too, see, if you take Bangalore, Bangalore is colder than Coimbatore. In winter in Bangalore, you cannot keep your feet down, bare feet down. And especially people with arthritis, people have knee problems will suffer a lot in Bangalore. But in Coimbatore is ideally places such as Coimbatore, Mysore, Pune, Mangalore, the Udupi. These are all places which are all made for retirement in terms of weather and in terms of medical facilities and all. Of it, I think only Coimbatore is clicked as of now. The rest of them will also take off.
Mhm. And do you see any emerging trend of senior living around, spiritual places?
See, it has been there for quite some time. Most spiritual places had ashrams. The only
Yeah,
thing is we
but
never
those
called
were
it
like more like
retirement
old
community.
age homes, right? That was more
Old
like
age
old
home,
age homes
no,
where because
paid old age homes. See, for example, there is an ashram called Anand Ashram. A very revered Swami Ramdas had built it in Kasargod.
Mhm.
It has independent villas where people pay for it and they stay forever. And see, these are all, they're not called old age homes, they're called ashrams basically. That's all. The same thing is there in Vallika, in Kerala, around Mata Amritanandamayi, Amritapuri. It is there. And in Puttaparthi, the normal real estate has grown so much around the ashram that, it's like a retirement community on its own. But there is a huge market for retirement communities in holy places. People have still not opened it up. There's a massive potential,
Mhm.
especially Tirupati, Kumbakonam, and places like Udupi. Udupi, there is one retirement community which has taken off well, but there is plenty which is possible. So in Udupi and then anywhere
Up,
around all these holy places.
up.
Today Ayodhya, you will not get land, unfortunately. Rama
Okay.
has made it very costly today.
Okay. Um, then next thing that I wanted to ask you was about the challenges that we have in the regulatory, social, infrastructural. How do we address that? What needs to be addressed to scale the sector meaningfully?
See, there are two parts of the regulation. One is the real estate part of it, the other is the service part of it.
Mhm.
As far as the real estate part of it is concerned, there are no differences between a normal real estate and retirement community. It's just the same on any residential, like how we need to take approvals on the land, NOCs, several NOCs, and then but then you have to go for approvals, yeah, building approvals and other things. They're all the same. There is not a bit of difference. But as far as the services are concerned, the service regulations are concerned, there are zero service regulations in India. Okay.
Okay.
There is a GO given out by Tamil Nadu government in 2018, if I'm right, December, as an outcome of a judgment. But again, that is completely insufficient. It doesn't include quote unquote the retirement communities. It more revolves around old age homes. Haryana government is trying to do something now. Okay, but there is a guideline which came out, if I'm right, in 2019 or 2020 when Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri was the Central Minister for Housing and Urban Development. He came out with a guideline for retirement community real estate. But real estate being a state subject, the central government cannot enforce. And those guidelines are also, I would say, grossly insufficient. A lot of things have to evolve. There, it is a state subject. It is again a subject which involves two different departments. One is housing and urban welfare, housing and urban development, and number two is your social welfare department. So how two departments are going to come together in every state is a big question. One state has to take the lead and build the cat. I think Haryana might do it or Tamil Nadu might do it. In Tamil Nadu, there are no initiatives, but as far as Haryana is concerned, they are taking some sort of initiatives.
Okay. In your opinion, what could be added? Like, what can really come up in this space? Like, what should be done? Because we are part of NAREDCO, it's a national, real estate development council. So, if you could shed us, we can see
See,
how we
I would
can,
say three things. First,
etc.
let's more the merrier in terms of projects. There are no competitors here. Okay, there are we have 140 crore people around in the country, out of which more than 20 to 30 crores are senior citizens. Today, India is a young country. Our average age is around between 30 and 32. Imagine in another 25 years, our average age is going to be 60 plus. So we are going to become an old country in another 60 days, 60 years. There are no competitors. The more the merrier. I would say as real estate operators in NAREDCO, I would request all of them to come explore this particular sector and launch projects in wherever they want to. We are here to provide advisory if necessary, consulting if necessary, and partner with them to launch such projects wherever in India. That is, we can do it. So it will sell. So don't worry about sales. People are getting old; they have to buy. The only thing is you have to design and position the product correctly. So please get into it. Number two, as part of the real estate lobby, try to lobby with the government for better regulations, for a distinct regulation for senior living. They can come up, for example, in terms of FSI, in terms of zoning. For example, they can in recreational zone they can allow senior living, giving some restrictions to the height and other things. So these things will help us a lot. Okay. Number two, speaking to the government, lobbying with the government, that is speaking to the governments. And number three, please explore. Please visit all these retirement communities. And when the more and more you visit retirement communities, you will understand this better.
Sure. Thank you, Ashwin, for your time. I would like to open the floor for any questions. So people can send out in a message through chat, and I can ask Mr. Ashwin to answer.
If there are no questions, I think I've been either too clear or too unclear, or it has been too boring.
No, not at all. So what we can do, we can just give 2 minutes.
Uh, Hi, Ashwin.
Smita ji,
Namaste,
welcome.
Smita ji.
Yeah, namaste.
Namaste, Smita ji.
Thank you so much for your time, and it was a wonderful session. I was just keeping my camera off because I'm traveling. There is a network issue, and it was fantastic to know about the ideas and all. What I feel, I'm also a developer based in Pune, and for the senior living, of course, there are some challenges to sell as well. And the now right now the more buyers of the houses are like in the millennials or even the Gen Zs. So they actually don't think about the senior living much. So one day everyone gonna be a old person, so senior citizen. I feel the awareness is less and they are not thinking on this prospect. So awareness should
Don't
be
worry about
there.
sales, madam. Don't worry about sales, madam. People will buy. If you want to start a project, you tell me. Pune is an excellent location. See, once we have the right project in right location, we will always. And Pune has been one of the earliest starters of retirement communities when Prajapay started, 20 years before.
Yeah, there are
And
many projects
the problem is Pune
we
is
are,
the land prices have become almost Bombay today.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That is also true. And the developers, as a business man or as a business person, like we think of selling it quickly and the profits, PNLs we want to match. And certain level, surely we are thinking on this well, saving as well. So we're like the people should get that comfort. The old age homes shouldn't be there. The concept, I really hate that concept because they want more and challenges are there. The low. Few of the things, of course, we also keep in mind for them while constructing our projects. But still, I feel the developers' focus is less on. What do you think?
Yeah, it will increase, madam. As I said, people have to understand it first. Initially, what will happen is there'll be a gold rush. Everybody will rush to it, and people will fail. And once people will fail, only the people who have understood correctly will stay up. So this is a natural phenomenon. ये तो सब जगह होता है. ये रियल एस्टेट में ही
Yeah.
नहीं, ये इसमें ये सब जगह होता है. पहले गोल्ड रश होगा. So we will have everybody who are doing wrong things will come. Then only right things will stay on top. So we'll have to give it time to work. And Pune is an excellent location. If you want to start, you tell me. I am ready to come to Pune tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I've been very
Certainly,
fond
I'll.
of Khadakwasla. We'll do something near
Oh,
Khadakwasla, ma'am.
wow.
I'm very fond of Khadakwasla, and we will sell it to different people.
Surely. I'll definitely get in touch with you. Thank you. And thank you for your time, the wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So shall I go? Is that done?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time. Thank everyone
Thank you,
for
Sakari.
being online. Thank you, Sukati, for joining. She's our Naradco Mahi president.
Thank you. And if it is recorded, please
Thank you.
send to me a.
Definitely.
Yeah, this
Thank you.
will be recorded and this will be live on the YouTube channel as well. So as and when
Thank you.
someone wants to have a look at it, they can go ahead. And thank you so much. Thank you, Sukha, for bringing him for us. And it was a wonderful motivation by you. And thank you all the viewers and who have joined this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot. Thanks a lot.